No one in the window.
Hey, I'm back with my last spooky Plymouth location for the month of October. I've really enjoyed doing these videos though, so who knows, I might continue on after a break. But anyways, I'll definitely doing more next October because I've just had a lot of fun with it. So today's spooky location is pretty famous, probably one of the more famous ones. And you can find it in the book, Ghosts of Plymouth, Massachusetts, that I was mentioning in previous videos. I'm kind of surprised. You know, I was just saying like it was one of the most famous ones. She doesn't have the White Horse Beach ghost in this book, which I'm kind of surprised about. I'd say that might be the most famous Plymouth ghost. And then this one I'm going to talk about today might be the second most famous. You can find the story in this book, or probably any of the ghost stories. I know they all love this location. It's the alley between the Spooner House and the old library downtown. It's now the art center. I don't know what you call it. Art Guild building. So this alleyway there is famously haunted. And I actually had an experience in it, which I didn't realize till much later was actually probably a ghost. Something very unexplainable. Anyways, and it's funny because I was just doing my review video for the Edith Wharton ghost story book, and she had a story called Afterwards, and it's in the story it's like everyone says you won't know you see this ghost until afterwards, and the woman in the story was like, what does that mean, afterwards? Why don't you realize you're seeing this ghost when you see him? Well, that's kind of like this experience I had. I never knew this was a ghost until just a few weeks ago. I can't explain what I saw. So, the alleyway is famously haunted, as I was saying. There's supposedly a young girl that haunts it, and I just took a tour there a few weeks ago. It was called the Murder, Mayhem, and Mystery Murder, Mayhem, and Mystery Tour. I don't know if that's correct. Murder and Mayhem were in the title of this tour, and it's by the Spirit of Plymouth, so you should definitely go on her tour. That was one of the best tours I've been on of town in a long time. She was pretty awesome. I'll put a link to the website. I mean, I don't think she's going to do the ghost ones past Halloween, but she has, I guess, tons of other tours, so you should check out her tour. Tour site. Tours. The alleyway is famously haunted, and I've always known that like if you go in there and you take pictures, you'd see things in the pictures like orbs and all that kind of stuff back when orbs were a thing. Are they still a thing? I don't know. But anyways, I used to go to that alleyway all the time at night because my uncle lived on Leiden Street. So like after family dinners, it was kind of like traditional to just go out for a walk. And the family dinners would be like on holidays, just so you know. So it's very quiet in town. It's, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Day, Easter. 4th of July wouldn't be quiet afterwards. But this didn't happen on 4th of July. And it'd be later at night. We'd be there, the whole family would be there all day, late into the night. So I would always go out for a walk. Sometime between like 8 and 10, I'd go out for a walk. And I can't tell you when exactly this happened, because I didn't know what was happening until afterwards. So it's not like I took down notes about when this happened and how things looked exactly. Yeah. But if I had to guess, I would say it happened sometime between 2009 and 2011, and it was a cold night. I can remember that, so I'm guessing it might have been Thanksgiving or Christmas night after dinner time. Probably Thanksgiving, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. so I would always walk through the alley, because I just love the alley, not only because supposedly it's haunted, but I love that alley. It's cool, and I would always, I loved the library when it was there, and I really missed it. And my grandma used to tell me stories about the children's room down in the basement and going there. So I'd always just, go over and look at the library side. And now I knew the Spooner house was a museum. And I think I probably knew it was supposed to be haunted, but I think I thought like all the ghosts were out in the alleyway. 'Cause I went inside the Spooner house when it was like a Christmas tour. They were doing a Christmas tour there one year, but I never went in the Spooner house for a ghost tour. And nothing strange ever happened to me inside the Spooner house. But, so I'm in the alleyway, and I knew, like I said, the front part of the house was a museum. I thought the back part of the house they were renting out for people to live in, or it was separate or something. So it's the little part that's like parallel to the stairs of the old library building, which would have brought you down to the children's room of the library. There's a doorway there for the Spooner house. So I'm in this alleyway by myself, it's like 9:30 on a holiday. And I thought someone was in the Spooner house. So usually the shades are down, but when I got to the alleyway, the shade was up. And there was like light, like like a night light or like a candle light, but I wasn't thinking it was candle light. It was just like a very small amount of light through the window, and I didn't look, and I just thought that was strange, because usually the shades are down, but I thought that was someone's private home. And I'm in the alleyway taking pictures, because I would take pictures there. And I can't remember where this person appeared, but I looked up, and there was a man. He was either in the window or the doorway, and if it was the doorway, the door would have been like a half door. You know what I'm talking about? Like the doors that like you could open the top half or the bottom half. But I don't think that door is actually a half door. I was just on the tour, and I was like looking at the door. I don't know. But maybe way back in the past it was a half door, or maybe the guy was in the window. But I couldn't see the bottom half of him. That's why I'm saying I can't remember. And like I said, it wasn't like I was thinking I was looking at a ghost at the time. So I wasn't taking notes on like where exactly he was situated and what he looked like. I thought it was just a guy that lived in the house, come up to the window to shut the shade or the top half of the door or whatever it was. It was very little light inside. And I can't tell you more than he had dark, thin hair. And he was anywhere between late 40s and early 60s. I didn't really look at him closely because I had the feeling that I was disturbing this person. Although I have to say I had also the feeling like he was amused in a way, that I was out there, but I felt terrible. I felt terrible, like I had disturbed this person. So I was like looking down. I was trying not to look at him. So I can't really describe him, and as I said also, this was 10 years ago. So it's also kind of cloudy in my memory, because I never thought what I was seeing was a ghost. Or I don't know. I mean, I guess like maybe someone could have been a worker, could have been in there, although like I said, it's a holiday. So I can't explain why there would have been this person. He wasn't dressed. He just looked relaxed. He looked relaxed and at home, I guess. I don't know what he was wearing. Something like a white shirt. That's all I could tell you. But I mean, I could be wrong. It was 10 years ago. And I was looking down, trying to not to make eye contact and walking away because I felt like I had been bothering him. So I first realized this actually last fall. I was in the alleyway with a friend, and I said, we were just hanging around the alleyway, and I said, come on, let's go. We don't want to disturb the people that live here. And he's like, what are you talking about? Nobody lives here. And it's, yes, in the back part of this building, there's a man lives here. Or something. I don't know what it said exactly, but it's like, no, in the back part of the building, that's a private apartment. And he didn't believe me, and he knocked on the door, which I guess is like something they do in the ghost tours. I didn't realize. I was like, stop, don't knock on that door. Because I thought the man would be upset that here I am yet again in his alleyway. Not that he would remember me, but, you know, I'm sure like he has tons of people constantly in that alleyway just hanging around. I didn't want to disturb this guy again. So we left, and I didn't think much of it except that that was strange that he was so sure that nobody lived in that house, and I felt very sure, so I began to doubt that someone lived in that house, but I didn't really think about it again until I read this book, and the book gave me the impression that the whole building was a museum, which it is, because when I took that tour, the guide, I guess, works there, and knows so much about it. I didn't say anything to her, because I felt kind of ridiculous, and I don't know what that was. She was telling me all kinds of ghost stories about people seeing things in the window, little girls come in the door. Nothing about a man, though, in the doorway, or that downstairs window. She said something about a man in the alleyway, but he had an old-fashioned hat on. This guy didn't have a hat on. He was just at home, relaxing. I don't know. He didn't look particularly old-fashioned to me, but like I said, I was trying not to really make eye contact and look at him. Yeah, so I can't really describe him other than, like I said, he was dark, thin, short hair. Yeah, that's about all I can say about him, and I have no explanation for why this man came up to the window after I'd been in the alleyway taking pictures of the alleyway for a while. No explanation for that. That's my story. That's my spooky story. And I haven't gone out to the alleyway yet, but I'm going to put some alleyway footage at the end of this video, and I have to tell you, I'm kind of nervous about it. I might knock on the door. I don't know. We'll see if I can get up the nerve to knock on the door. I felt okay. I felt fine on that tour. Standing there, I just felt very confused about the whole thing. Like, was that actually... Because he looked nothing like you'd think like a ghost is like see-through or old-fashioned. Look, he just looked like a solid person, like an everyday person. So I don't know who he was. I don't know. I have no explanation. I probably should have said something to her. I don't know why I didn't. I didn't say anything to her. Yep, so that's the story. Next time you walk through the alleyway, take a look if the shade is up, or if there's a guy looking at you out the window. I don't know. That might be my ghost. Thanks for watching. It's not even that late out. This would have been better if I came at like midnight. It's definitely not a half door. The old library entrance I was talking about.